Hello students, today I am going to explain chapter 6 tissues, class 9th. What is tissue? A group of cells having similar structure or work together to perform a specific function is known as tissue. Example, xylem, blood, etc. That means group of cells. In last chapter you studied about the cell, and I told you that cell is the fundamental unit of life. On that chapter I discuss about that why cell is a fundamental unit of life, because a group of cell form tissues, and a group of tissues form organ, a group of organ form organ system, and a group of organ system form an organism. So that's why we can say that cell is a functional unit of the organism. So group of a cell having similar structure or work together to perform a specific function is known as tissue. Tissues are two types, plant tissues and animal tissues. Actually, plants are having different type of tissues and animal are having different type of tissues. So in this video, I am going to explain about only plant tissues, and for animal tissue, you just you will be continue with part 2. First, what is the major difference between the plant tissues and animal tissue? Tissue organization is targeted toward stationary habit of plant. Tissue organization is targeted towards mobility of animals, because you know that animals are mobile. Organization is simple. In case of animal tissue, their organization is complex. Plant tissue, many of the tissues are dead, for example cork. Animal, most of the tissues are living. Plant tissue growth is confined to certain area. In animal tissue, growth is not limited to areas. Plant tissue, less maintenance energy required, whereas in animal tissue, more maintenance energy required. Plants grow continuously throughout life. Animal, after reaching maturity stage, animals do not show further growth. So now I am going to explain plant tissues. Plant tissues perform functions which are different from animal, and also their structure is different. Hence, they have tissues which are different from animals. They are further classified into many subcategories, which is I am going to explain in next slide. So, plant tissues are two types, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. If we classified the plant tissue, there are two types, meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. Now, what is meristematic tissue? It may be defined as a group or collection of living cells which are located at a specific location and divide continuously to add new cells to the plant body, have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose walls, prominent nuclei, and lack vacuoles. So, meristematic tissue are the tissue which have capability of division. They can multiply, they can divide, and they are located at a specific location for the growth of that particular specific location. And classification based on region where present, because they are present on the specific location. They are three types. The meristematic tissues are three types. Apical meristem, its name is apical, so it's present at growing tips of stem and roots. It's present on the apical region, on the growing region, tip of stem and root. So it increases length of stem as well as length of roots also. Lateral meristem, present on lateral side of roots and stem. It's increase in girth. And that means laterally they increase the size of the roots and stem. And intercalary meristem, present at the base of leaves or internodes. on twigs. So basically they are present on the node and internode. So the branches and all area, leaves, everywhere the intercalary meristem are present. So I told you that these classified, they are grouped on the base of the region where they present, on the location where these are present. So meristematic tissue are three type: apical meristem, lateral meristem and intercalary meristem. Now you can see the diagram. In the diagram you can understand well. Here this is the apical region. This is the apical region, that means tip of the stem. So apical meristem are present on the apical region, on the tip of stem and the tip of root. This is lateral, so they are present on the side. You can see in both side it is present, and it's this lateral meristem is responsible for the girth of plants. It increase in width. And intercalary meristem are present on the node and internode, from where twigs or branches are there or leaves are there. So on that area intercalary meristems are present. So on the basis, now you can understand that how they are located on the basis of the how its name are they classified on the basis of their location. Now again in this diagram it is very clear. These tissues occur at a specific region of the plant body. This is so because in plant body growth occur only at these regions. Hence on the basis of these there are three types. Again you can see and you can understand this lateral, this is apical meristem, this is lateral meristem, the present on the side, and this is intercalary meristem. Here name, location and function. The apical meristem, growing tip of root and stem. In apex area they are present on the apex area, that's why its name is the apical meristem. Its function is the elongation. They increase in the length of the plant. Lateral meristem, they present on the cambium, beneath the bark, in vascular bundle of dicot stems they are present. It's increased in diameter. Intercalary meristem, base of the leaves and internode, increase of length. Now second type of plant tissue is permanent tissue. First is the meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So I told you meristematic tissues are the growing tissue. They divide and they grow. So what is permanent tissue? Actually permanent tissue is also, permanent tissue may be defined as a group or collection of living or dead cells formed by meristematic tissue. So the permanent tissue is formed by meristematic tissue and have lost their ability to divide and have permanently placed at fixed position in the plant body. So you can say when the meristematic tissues lost their ability to divide or their ability to grow, that meristematic tissues convert into permanent tissue and they placed at fixed position in the plant body. So when meristematic tissue lost the ability to divide, it's have permanently placed at fixed position in the plant body and is known as permanent tissue. The permanent tissues are classified into two groups: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissues are called simple because they composed of similar type of cells which have common origin and function. They are three types. Why they are simple permanent? Because they are made up of same type of cell. They are three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And complex permanent tissue may be defined as a group of more than one type of cells. So you can see here, whereas in simple permanent tissue only one type of cells are composed the permanent tissue, but in simple permanent tissue, but in complex permanent tissue more than one type of cell having a common origin and working together as a unit to perform a common function. There are two types, xylem and phloem. These are the complex permanent tissue. Now I am going to explain the simple permanent tissue. because in last slide you have seen that simple permanent tissues are three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So now I am going to explain about this. So on the basis of their features, you can differentiate their characteristic. First, cell shape. So parenchyma, isodiametric cells, which are oval, spherical or polygonal in shape, whereas collenchymas circular, oval or polyhedral in shape, and sclerenchyma is variable in shape, fibers and sclerites. Cell wall, parenchyma is having thin cellulose cell wall and collenchyma is having uneven thickening on their cell wall. There is the uneven, it's not somewhere it's thin, somewhere it is thick, and sclerenchyma lignified secondary cell wall present on it. So it is generally thick, lignified, because here lignin is the present. Lignin is the cement like substance. Because of that, it is little thick. Cytoplasm abundant, that means in a large amount in everywhere. In collenchyma, cytoplasm is also present here, but not as compared to parenchyma. But in sclerenchyma, cytoplasm is absent. Nucleus, in parenchyma, nucleus present, living tissues, and so you keep in mind parenchyma is living tissue. Collenchyma, in also nucleus is present, it is also living tissue, but sclerenchyma absent, and this sclerenchyma is actually dead tissue. Vacuoles, large vacuoles are present in parenchyma. In collenchyma, vacuolated, means vacuole is present, the small as compared to parenchyma, and sclerenchyma vacuoles are absent. Intercellular space present in parenchyma, absent in collenchyma and absent in sclerenchyma. There is no intercellular space, that means in space in between two cells. Occurrence, where they are occur, basically packaging tissues. Parenchyma are known as the packaging tissue. All soft part of the plants, pith, cortex, medullary rays, they have parenchyma tissue. Collenchyma, dicot stem, petioles and beneath the epidermis, absent in the monocot and roots. That means collenchyma are absent in monocot and root. And sclerenchyma is dicot hypodermis, bundle shaped, pericycle seeds, pulp of roots. They are present on these area. Their function, parenchyma function is the food storage. Basically, food storage, they store food, and sometime parenchyma have the chlorophyll. The parenchyma have this chlorophyll pigment, that is the green color pigment, which is responsible for the photosynthesis. So on that case, when parenchyma is containing photosynthesis pigment, chlorophyll, on that time this parenchyma is known as chlorenchyma. On that time this parenchyma is known as chlorenchyma, and sometime this parenchyma is having air cavity, generally in the aquatic plant, that means the plant which grown in water. So this parenchyma is having air cavity, large air cavity. Because of that, the aquatic plant can float on the water. In that case, this parenchyma is known as aerenchyma. So you can say that parenchyma, when they are having chlorophyll, it's known as chlorenchyma, and when they are having air cavity in aquatic plants, so it's known as aerenchyma. Collenchyma, its function, provide tensile strength, mechanical support, and photosynthesis, also help in the photosynthesis. So generally it's provide mechanical support, whereas the parenchyma is food storage and photosynthesis, but collenchyma provide mechanical support to the plants. And sclerenchyma is protection from stress and strain and mechanical strength. It's provide mechanical strength. And in collenchyma, actually sclerenchyma actually present in the stem, vein of leaves, hard covering of the seeds and around the vascular bundle, and these are dead. So that's why in the stem you can see that it's woody. We can't just bend the we are not able to bend the stem. So this is because of the sclerenchyma, because in sclerenchyma lignin are present, that is the cement like substance which make it hard. Here again differentiate between parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma on the basis of their cell wall. In last slide we already discussed. So here again the cells of parenchyma have thin wall made of cellulose. Collenchyma, the cells of this tissue have cell wall thickened at the corner due to pectin deposition. Here pectin, so this is uneven. I told in last slide collenchyma's cell wall is uneven because there is a part of cellulose. Here some pectin deposition is also there in the corner. So on that side it is thickened. And the sclerenchyma, the walls of sclerenchymatous cell are thickened due to lignin deposition, because in that cell wall lignin is there, present there. So because of lignin it is thickened and hard. And another question is the major difference between sclerenchyma and parenchyma, and you know that parenchyma and collenchyma both are live tissues, live cells, but sclerenchyma are having dead cells. So what are the main differences here? Parenchyma tissues consist of living cells and sclerenchyma composed of dead cell. It consists of thin wall cellulose. Its sclerenchyma's cell wall are uniformly thickened. Parenchyma, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. Sclerenchyma, the cell wall is made up of complex polymer lignin. Parenchyma tissue is found in the soft part of the plants such as cortex, root, ground tissue in stem and mesophyll of leaf. Sclerenchyma tissues are found in roots, veins of leaves and hard covering of the seeds and nuts. So all the hard covering of seeds and nuts like coconut, husk of coconut, these all are made up of the sclerenchyma because they are hardy, woody and hard. Parenchyma serve as packaging tissues, serve as food storage tissue and perform photosynthesis, chlorenchyma. And when they have the air cavity, it's known as the arenchyma. Sclerenchyma is mechanical and protective in function. It gives strength and rigidity, flexibility and elasticity to the plant body. So these are the major differences between the sclerenchyma and parenchyma. Now complex permanent tissue. So second type of permanent tissue is the complex. First was the simple and now complex permanent tissue. Tissues are made up of more than one type of cell. There are two types of complex tissue, xylem and phloem. You can see the diagram also. Complex tissue, xylem are having, because you know that they are having more than one type of tissue. So what are the tissues, cell, more than one type of cell. So what are the cell? They are the different type of cell components they are having. Xylem is having trachea vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma, whereas phloem is having sieve elements or sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. So you can see here there are the four different type of cells are present in the xylem and phloem. That's why these are xylem and phloem are complex permanent tissue. Now the function of the xylem. Xylem is a complex tissue that transport water and mineral from the root to the other parts of the body. So because xylem transport water and mineral from the root to the other parts of body, so the direction of the movement of the xylem is always upward direction, because they transport water and mineral from the root, and root are present in the soil. So the always direction is unidirectional and it is upward direction. Xylem and their component are xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber and trachea are the component of xylem. And in phloem is also a complex tissue that transport food material from leaves to the other part of the body, plant. You know that food are stored in the leaves. So the movement of the because food is stored in the leaves, so from leaves to it transport to all part of the plant. So here in case of xylem only unidirection is there, only upward direction, but here bidirection, in any direction they can move upward as well as downward. So the component of phloem is sieve tubes elements or sieve tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber are the component of phloem. The differences between xylem and phloem: it's composed of dead cell, it's composed, phloem composed of living cell. Cells are made up of thick cell wall, cells don't have thick cell wall. It found in wood, it found in bark, carries water and nutrients, carries food, sugar sap. Xylem transports material up the stem capillary action like a straw. It transports material up and down the stem like an elevator. It helps support the stem, phloem does not support the stem. So these all are the differences in between xylem and phloem. Now the main difference in between the meristematic tissue and permanent tissue, because when we are talking about plant tissue, there are two types. In the starting, in second, third slide you have seen. So meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So what are the meristematic tissue? The cells divide repeatedly. The permanent tissue, the cell are derived from meristematic tissue and do not divide. Meristematic tissue, the cell are undifferentiated. Permanent tissue, the cells are fully differentiated. Meristematic tissue, the cells are small and isodimetric, and the permanent tissue, the cells are variable in shape and size. Meristematic tissue intracellular space are generally absent, and permanent tissue visible intracellular spaces are present. Meristematic tissue vacuoles are absent. In permanent tissue, large vacuoles are present in mature cell. Meristematic tissue metabolism occur at high rate. In permanent tissue, metabolism occur at low rate. Meristematic tissue, the cell walls are thin. Here in permanent tissue, cell wall may be thin or thick. So just I completed this chapter. Now again this plant tissue, you know that parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem and phloem. These three are the simple permanent tissue, and these xylem and phloem is the complex permanent tissue. Parenchyma is the thin primary cell wall protoplast with large central vacuoles. Their function is list, specialize, synthesize and store organic molecules. Collenchyma structure is unevenly thickened primary cell wall grouped in strands or cylinders. Its function is help support growing part of young plants. Sclerenchyma, secondary cell wall made rigid with lignin, often dead at maturity. Its function is support and protect non-growing regions of plant. Xylem is secondary cell wall and wall perforated, dead at maturity. Its function is conduct water upward and help support plant. Phloem, protoplasm, black nucleus, ribosomes, vacuoles living at maturity, and it transport organic molecules throughout plants. This is the overall summary of the plants. Meristematic tissue, permanent tissue. Plant tissue are two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue are again classified three types: apical, lateral and intercalary. Permanent tissue are again classified two types: simple, complex. Simple permanent tissue are again three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. And complex tissues are again classified into two types: xylem and phloem. These all are the component of xylem and phloem. Xylem is having tracheid vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber, and phloem is having sieve tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. I hope you understood this chapter. Thank you. Animal tissue will be continue in part 2. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.